If you thought you'd seen the messiest rap beefs in hip-hop history, think again. Because this time, it's personal, it's political, and it's painfully public. 50 Cent just dropped a bombshell, and it's aimed straight at Meek Mill's chest. According to insiders, Meek allegedly struck a shady backdoor deal with none other than Diddy, the same man now buried in lawsuits, federal heat, and sex ring allegations. And the worst part? 50 claims Meek knew exactly what he was walking into and still chose to cash in. The internet couldn't believe it, and you won't either.
Fucking run for me. You already knew the type of nigga I am before you got here. Don't play. Relax and relax.
Say loyalty in this industry is dead. But what happens when a man you called family starts cuddling up to your enemy for clout, cash, and quiet protection? If you were in 50's shoes, betrayed, mocked, and blindsided, what would you do? Because 50 didn't stay quiet. He did what he always does. He turned betrayal into ammunition. And now the receipts are out there. Let's break it all down, and trust me, it gets uglier. Bro said too much, and they got him. Now it's 50's turn.
Look, you see Meek Mill, I didn't say nothing.
Nah, I'm gonna have to disagree with you.
Nothing, right? Because he didn't deserve it.
You didn't make a record, but you made memes.
I didn't make one record, not one punchline. Because he didn't deserve the punchline. Because you getting bodied by R&B singer. The boy said the line already. You gotta live with that.
I just want to know.
Come back from that, right?
Let's rewind this mess to where it really started. Not in a courtroom, not on TMZ, and not even on Instagram. No, this story began in silence. The kind of silence that creeps in when loyalty becomes currency and betrayal hides behind a handshake. Back in 2015, 50 Cent and Meek Mill were far from enemies. In fact, 50 once called Meek the new blood. A young bull rising through the ranks. Street certified. Philly made. Dream chaser turned mogul in training. But behind all that flashy ambition, there was always something off. Something about Meek that made 50 look twice. You ever notice how quiet someone gets around power? 50 allegedly told someone in a private text. Watch how he moves when the bag shows up.
They had a recording of Meek and Diddy
making love?
Ew. I don't know if it was love.
Okay, you have it? Let's hear it.
What?
Diddy's empire was still glossy on the outside. Ciroc, revolt, white parties in the Hamptons. But the whispers were getting louder. Behind the curtain, payoffs, NDAs, missing tapes, and a little something called freak-offs. A word that made insiders laugh in public and lock their phones in private. 50 had been throwing shots at Diddy for years, calling him SUS, clowning his outfits, and cracking jokes about daddy parties. People thought it was trolling. It wasn't. Because what 50 knew, and what the world would soon find out, was that Diddy had created something far darker than champagne brunches and poolside deals. He had power, and he used it in ways no one wanted to admit. The real Diddy? He was building a world where people owed him with their bodies, their silence, or both. Enter Meek Mill.
And when I say people respond, how people respond to things matter, like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, nah, I gotta spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this. And it's in it only because he's uncomfortable. You don't hear him talking about French. French was right there. Right? Why get so quiet? You guys make me feel like I'm so scared.
Well, no, I mean...
Now, do understand that I don't believe everybody.
Right.
Like, the accusations are way too fast, and it's wild. I'm like...
Meek Mill tweeted, I want to hire an investigative team to find out every specific detail involving Meek Mill name to Diddy case. I also want to look at who's powering the media involving Meek, anything to do with Buddy, and ends in, quote, something not right.
At the time, Meek was in the middle of rebranding. After the messy fallout with Nicki Minaj, the beef with Drake, and public ridicule over his legal drama, he needed a reset. And who better to provide a redemption arc than Diddy, the king of image rehab? According to leaked DMs, allegedly pulled from a hacked phone tied to one of Diddy's former assistants, Meek and Diddy started talking business in early 2021. The messages were vague but telling. One read, "You already know I got you big bro, whatever it takes. Let's fix this image. You been too solid to me." Another said, "I need that push. I need revolt, that exposure. Let's Lincoln Turks." Lincoln Turks. 3 words that triggered 50 Cent into beast mode.
I actually seen 50 Cent one day.
Meek Mill, when I ran into him finally, he said, "Yo, come here, let me talk to you. I need to talk to you like a man on the side, put me to the side."
Yo, we holler, we went to the side like men. Good conversation. Yo, man, you know, we both come from the streets. You know what this could lead to.
He was talking, and I was looking at him, and I wanted to punch him. The stuff that he said, I wanted to punch him. And I didn't. I just looked at him, and I was like, yo, I don't understand why you felt like that.
Believe it or not, 50 and them a serious situation in traffic. Like, this ain't no, like, average little lightweight rappers.
When he says something to Drake and then doesn't respond, and Drake says something back, I'm going, what happened?
You see Meek Mill shit, I didn't say nothing.
I didn't make one record, not one punchline. Because he didn't deserve the punchline. You getting bodied by R&B singer. The boy said the line already. You gotta live with that.
People who pick fights with people who don't want to fight, those are punks.
What fans didn't know at the time was that Diddy's freak-off parties in Turks and Caicos weren't just poolside getaways. They were rituals, exotic locations, confidential guests, and strict no-phone policies. People came back from Turks different, some richer, some quieter, some traumatized. And then came the photos. They weren't explicit, at least not the ones that leaked. But they were enough. One grainy image showed Meek Mill stepping out of a blacked-out SUV at Diddy's Turks villa. Another? A blurry poolside pic. Just him and Diddy, laughing over drinks. Matching Versace robes. Matching grins. At first, it seemed innocent. But 50 Cent wasn't buying it. He took to Instagram like a man on fire. No caption, just a meme of a puppet on strings, tagged with Meek Mill's name. The comment section went wild. "You sold your soul for a revolt show? How you beefing with 50 and cuddling with the op?" Diddy got another one as in, "The betrayal wasn't just professional, it was personal." 50 Cent had always treated Meek like a little brother in the game. But now, that bond had cracked. And when you betray 50, he doesn't send flowers. He drops bombs. Cue the burner accounts. The anonymous leaks. A fake Instagram DM supposedly from Diddy's private travel agent surfaced, showing a flight manifest that placed Meek Mill on 3 private flights tied to Diddy-hosted events, all within the same summer. Then a new rumor dropped like napalm. Meek Mill had allegedly agreed to appear in a private docuseries project for Diddy's internal media circle, something called Circle of Kings. A show that never aired, but allegedly featured exclusive footage of celebrities relaxing in ultra-private settings, exchanging favors, and talking loyalty off the record. Why would Meek ever be involved in that? Fans asked. Unless he was promised something big. Theories ranged from hush money deals to promises of new label distribution. One insider said, Meek wanted a TV play. A real one. Diddy dangled that, but everything comes with strings. Meanwhile, 50 Cent kept quiet publicly. Too quiet. That's when people knew he was plotting something heavy. And they were right, because then came the leaks. First, an old voice note allegedly from Diddy to Meek. "You know I'll take care of you. You my guy. You showed up when others ran. That's real. Loyalty like that? I don't forget." Followed by an anonymous Reddit thread claiming Diddy had paid Meek over $350,000 for PR consulting and media expansion strategy. No receipts, but the timeline fit. And then, the one thing 50 Cent never expected, Meek Mill started clapping back. On X, formerly Twitter, Meek posted, "Can't clown a man for playing the game better than you. You still mad about 2005? Then another. Y'all forget who I am. I stand on loyalty. But I'm also grown. Ain't nobody my daddy." The internet ate it up. Fans were split. Some said 50 was reaching. Others said Meek was exposed. One user wrote, "It's giving betrayal energy. Meek been too close to the fire." Another, 50 warned us years ago. Diddy be grooming these dudes? It all boiled down to one thing, the deal. Not a handshake, not a contract, but something far more complicated, a silent exchange of access, influence, and silence. And Meek Mill, knowingly or not, had just stepped into the devil's foyer. While fans were busy dissecting memes and tweets, 50 Cent was digging deeper. Not for the jokes this time, but for blood. Because what he uncovered next had nothing to do with rap. This was about power, compliance, and how far a man would go to protect his seat at the table. According to a newly leaked document, allegedly from a whistleblower inside Bad Boy Entertainment's legal team, Diddy had created a network of celebrity beneficiaries. These weren't just artists or collaborators. These were men he helped, housed, and in some cases controlled. The list? Chilling. Names like Meek Mill, Kanye West, Usher, French Montana, and even NBA athletes appeared, all marked with codes like R1, C2, and SB. What did those codes mean?
Rent. Cars.
Silence pay. That's what one anonymous source claimed in a Reddit deep dive that instantly went viral. Among those names, Meek Mill's had R1/ST, rent covered, and silence pay. That was enough for 50. He took to IG once again, but this time no jokes. Just one photo, a chessboard, flipped over, pieces scattered. Caption, "You play yourself when you trust snakes in the garden." But things only spiraled from there. Because just when everyone thought 50 was being petty, Diddy's name hit the federal court docket. That's right, indictment status pending. And guess who popped up in the early testimony? Jane Doe number 2, described as a model, influencer, and ex-partner of multiple high-profile hip-hop figures. Courtroom reporters said she was teary-eyed, emotional, wearing sunglasses indoors. But the real kicker? She named Diddy and she named Meek. According to insiders, her testimony linked Meek Mill to a private event in the Bahamas, a now infamous Black Orchid Weekend party where certain expectations were allegedly placed on all male guests. The term participatory obligations was used. Euphemism? Absolutely. But the subtext was clear. Then came the voicemail leak. Audio that allegedly features Diddy, drunk and slurring, leaving a message for an unnamed male. Yo, it's time to grow up. Handle your end. Don't play dumb. This ain't no charity. You know what you agreed to. The internet exploded. Was it Meek he was talking to? Fans thought so. The timelines matched up. The trip location matched. Even the tone felt familiar. Blogs jumped on it. Twitter erupted. Reddit detectives were working overtime. But the real hammer? 50 Cent dropped a burner account screenshot showing what he claimed was a Venmo payment trail from a Diddy shell company to Meek Mill's business manager.
It read,
Consultation, Orchid Media, 40K. Was it real? Was it satire? No one cared. The damage was done. Because now, it wasn't just about betrayal. It was about complicity. Fans started turning. The comment sections shifted. What once was Free Meek became Meek sold out for a yacht ride. Even verified celebs started unfollowing Meek silently. No tweets. Just digital distancing. You know how Hollywood does. And while 50 Cent kept flaming the flames, Meek Mill went dark. No new posts. No live streams. Just silence. But silence is loud in this business. That's when another shoe dropped. This time from a former Revolt TV producer who released a Medium blog post claiming, "We were told to cut around Meek's interviews. The footage didn't look good. Diddy wanted them chopped. Said it wasn't the right image." He added, Meek looked nervous. He kept glancing off camera, like someone was watching. Now rewind. Remember the Circle of Kings docuseries? The one that never aired? Turns out Meek Mill wasn't just a guest. He was allegedly co-producing it. Yeah, you heard that right. The man who once rapped, "I'm a boss," was now helping package Diddy's version of masculinity to the masses. A hyper-masculine illusion hiding behind a velvet curtain. So why would Meek Mill ever agree to all this? Some say desperation. Some say ambition. But 50 Cent had a different theory. In a recent podcast appearance, when asked about Meek's involvement, 50 looked straight into the camera and said, "Some dudes ain't built for this game. So when they get invited to the table, they'll do anything to stay, even if it means eating from the devil's plate. And just like that, silence broken. Because the following morning, Meek Mill posted a photo on his story. A picture of a chess king toppled. No caption. No tags. But everyone knew what it meant. Retaliation? Admission? A warning? We don't know. But the energy was clear. Something had shifted. And that's when another name came up. When Meek Mill posted that picture of the fallen chess king, the internet froze. No caption. No explanation. Just silence that screamed betrayal, fear, or maybe surrender. Whatever it meant, the message was loud and clear. This wasn't just a rap feud anymore. This was war. And in war, there are no clean endings. Just when fans thought they'd seen the final play, 50 Cent returned to social media. Not with another meme, but with a bombshell video. It showed an alleged audio clip of Diddy pacing and yelling over the phone. He said too much. He let them in. That boy's mouth gonna get us all jammed. No names were mentioned. But the timing? Unmistakable. 50 had receipts. Or at least enough to set the internet on fire. Within hours, blogs ran headlines like, Diddy panics over Meek Mill's loose lips? 50 just lit the fuse, who falls next? Meanwhile, Meek Mill was still in hiding. No public appearances. No Instagram lives. Just rumors, whispers that his team was scrambling to do damage control. Some said he'd fired half his circle. Others claimed he was already prepping to flip, to turn state's witness if the federal heat on Diddy got too close. That's when an anonymous FBI source allegedly leaked a name to a gossip blog. The agency is currently investigating 3 high-profile hip-hop figures who were present at multiple Combs-hosted gatherings. One is cooperating. 3 names. Fans lost it. Speculation went nuclear. Is Meek the rat? Is 50 setting him up? Did Diddy just get played from inside? But while the internet was busy pointing fingers, the real twist came from someone no one expected, Nicki Minaj. On an otherwise quiet Tuesday night, Nicki tweeted and deleted this. Told y'all years ago who really moves funny in private. Not my business anymore, but karma don't miss. Fans instantly connected the dots. Nicki and Meek had a past. A messy, fiery, and deeply personal past. And if anyone knew how Meek moved behind closed doors, it was her. But there was more. Within 24 hours of that tweet, a leaked text thread appeared online, allegedly between Nicki and an unnamed friend. He used to brag about the Bahamas trips. Said they were next level. I thought he was capping. But now? Nah. I believe it all. It was never verified. But it didn't have to be. The damage was done. Meek Mill's image, the fighter, the freedom voice, the street general, was crumbling. And 50 Cent? He wasn't done yet. In a calculated move, 50 dropped a teaser clip for an upcoming, unauthorized docuseries titled, Loyalty Ain't Free. The Meek Mill tapes. The tagline? When you dance with the devil, don't be shocked when the music stops. The internet went ballistic. Yo, 50 turning this into a show? This man is cold-blooded. Where can I stream this now? And then, as if scripted by the gods of drama, new footage leaked from an alleged freak-off event. In the grainy cell phone clip, several blurred figures, one of whom strongly resembled Meek Mill, were seen entering a secluded beachside compound under heavy security. No one looked happy. No one spoke. The title of the file? Black Orchid. Entry log. Confidential. MP4. Twitter lost its mind. Meek's done. He's done. This got real dark. Bro thought he was networking. He was being documented. But here's the thing no one expected. Meek Mill still said nothing. Not a word. Not a denial. Not even a passive-aggressive quote tweet. And for 50, that was blood in the water. He posted one final image. A photo of himself and his son, side by side, matching grins, with a caption, Legacy. Ain't no secret handshake needed for that. Fans read between every line. This was never about music beef. This was about honor, family, betrayal. 50 Cent wasn't just burning bridges.
He was nuking them.
Making damn sure no one could ever cross back. And while Diddy's legal team scrambled to silence Jane Doe after Jane Doe, and Meek Mill's inner circle fell apart like wet tissue, one thing became clear. This wasn't just about who slept with who. This was about who got paid to stay quiet. In the end, no matter how many documents were shredded or posts were deleted, one truth echoed louder than ever. Loyalty has a price in this industry, and some sold it for way too cheap. She vanished without a trace, but the secrets stayed. So now that the curtains pulled back, now that the deals have surfaced, the tapes are leaking, and the silence is officially broken, the question isn't who betrayed who. It's how far would you go to stay in the game? Would you sell out your loyalty for a check? Would you link arms with your enemy if it meant saving your image? Or worse, would you say nothing, just to keep your name clean while others burn? Because 50 Cent didn't stay quiet. He saw the lies. He smelled the setup. And now, he's lighting matches under an empire built on fake loyalty and blood-stained NDAs. But what about Meek Mill? Was he just trying to survive in an industry built on sharks? Or did he know exactly what he was doing when he shook hands with the devil? The internet has questions, and we want answers. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about betrayal. Let's talk about receipts. And most of all, let's talk who's next. Because if the 50's just getting started, then trust me, this rabbit hole goes way deeper. Hit that subscribe button if you want to stay locked in as we uncover every layer of this madness. This is Celebrity Press. And we don't just report the drama. We expose it.